our government has totally transformed the power sector. Total transformation in all aspects and unprecedented. Now, we used to be deficit. The gap between demand and supply ranged from 8.5% in 11-12 to about 4.2% in 13-14. Today it is at 0.2%, which is the technical minimum. Technical minimum because in a huge network, a countrywide network of transmission and distribution, despite the fact that we have upgraded both transmission and distribution, there are some local faults or some congestion here and there which gets corrected, some interruptions. That accounts for the 0.2%. Otherwise, the shortage is virtually nil. We've added about 186,000 megawatts today from 2014 to date. Today, our installed capacity is 416,000 megawatts or 416 gigawatts. The total demand has gone up to 223 gigawatts. The transmission, so this is as far as generation is concerned. And we have capacity under construction. About 27,000 megawatts of thermal under active construction. About 24,000 megawatts of thermal under surveys, investigations, pre-construction stage before being bid out for construction. You can take this entire quantum as under construction. 51,000 megawatts of thermal under construction. We have almost about 120,000 megawatts of capacity in the renewables which are either under bid or which are under active construction. So we are prepared also for the increasing demand. The great thing is that our demand is increasing. It increased by almost 8%. In the previous year, this year, in the first quarter, we saw an increase of almost 10%. And we believe that this will continue increasing. So we are adding capacity for the increase. Adding capacity by itself is not sufficient. We added 197,000 circuit kilometers of transmission lines. I mean, as I said, the power sector is totally different. Now we've connected every corner of our country into one grid, with one grid, running on one frequency, and with one national load dispatch center, capable of transferring 112,000 megawatts from one corner of the country to another. So there is no congestion. We have 3 exchanges, now we are coupling those exchanges. And today you can sell power from any corner of the country to any other corner of the country. There is no congestion. We have united the country into one market. One market. You can generate anywhere, sell it. In order to further simplify matters, we will introduce the general network access. It's totally different from the way business used to be done in the past. In the past, you are a generator, you want a connection, you want to get connected, you have to declare that, okay, I am setting up my plant in Chhattisgarh, I will be supplying to Uttar Pradesh, I will be supplying to Haryana, Punjab. And then you would be given connectivity for supplying to Uttar Pradesh and Haryana and Punjab. Gone. Now the grid is one. So we have introduced the general network access. You get connected to the grid. And thereafter, you can sell today to Tamil Nadu, tomorrow to Haryana, day after tomorrow to Assam. Anywhere, you can sell anywhere. We don't ask you where you are going to sell because this is one market. And we don't ask you as to, we don't ask the consumers or the discoms or the entities, consuming entities as to where they are going to buy from, because this is one part, general network tax. And this is unique. This is unique. If you apply for connectivity today, if you don't sort of get it in 50, 60 days, then somebody has to answer to it. In developed countries, it takes almost 1.5 years, 2 years to get it. That's how different we are. And our transmission has some of the most advanced elements in the world. 765 HVDC, etc. Now we are also experimenting with 1200 HVDC. Some of the most advanced elements, which has enough SATCOMs and mechanisms to take the load of the huge renewable energy capacity which we have. We spent 2,01,000 crores, or 2,10,000 crores, 2.1 lakhs, on strengthening the distribution systems under Dindayal Gandhi Yojana, IPDS, Saubhagya. We constructed 2,900 plus new substations. We upgraded 3,980 odd older substations. We added or replaced 6.5 lakh circuit kilometers of HT lines and about 2.5 lakh circuit kilometers of LT lines, 112,000 circuit kilometers of agriculture lines, 7.5 lakh transport. That's what we did. The net result of all this has been that the power availability in rural areas used to be about 12 hours in 2014. Today it is 21 hours, varying from 21 to 22 years. Last year it had gone up to 22.5. This year I noticed that it's about 21 blocks. In rural area, in urban areas, 23.5 hours. This includes everything. This includes Arunachal, this includes Jammu Kashmir, wherever, the whole country. This is the average for the whole country. If there is any load shedding, we ask questions. It's a new area. We ask questions. We got information about load shedding in some cities in Uttar Pradesh, and we are asking questions. We have made it a right. Could you imagine any past power department making this a right, that inverse 24/7 electricity is your right? So nobody can do gratuitous load shedding. We have come out with rights of consumer rules. Now rules are law. If anybody violates it, there are penalties. And if any discom does any gratuitous load shedding, then they have to pay a compensation to the consumers. In order to make sure that the consumers are aware of this, we are coming out with public notices. Abhi niklega 3-4 दिन में, 3-4 दिन में you will see. The rules came out, I think, almost a year back. Lekin, I found that the compensation paid and claims, etc., is not happening. So I said that let's inform the people about their rights. That's what we are doing. This is notice. This is not an advertisement. And mechanisms have been set up in every division and every circle where you can go and complain if you don't get the compensation. Total transformation. Total transformation. In order to ensure that, let me cover the renewable energy first. Then we'll come with the common elements of the system. But before we go to renewable energy, there are a couple of things more which I want. Viability. A huge challenge. What are the challenges? What are the challenges? The challenges are that some short-sighted politicians use freebies in order to get votes. They don't pay for the freebies from their pocket, or their party doesn't pay for it. It's the taxpayer who pays for it. So when they say that we give free electricity, it's actually the taxpayer who's giving the free electricity. But he gets to get the credit, and he gets to get the votes. Free electricity. Subsidies announced and implemented because most of the discounts are government and not paid. Therefore, discounts in a huge loss. Government departments consuming power, not paid. So discounts in a huge loss. Right? We'll change all. We'll change all. Now we put in place a system whereby I keep saying that fine, you can give free electricity to everybody for all I care. But if you are taking electricity from an interstate power generating system, then you have to pay. If you don't pay, the power will get cut off automatically. And it's automatic. I can't intervene. When it first happened, 12, 13 discoms got disconnected. People, ministers rang me up. I said, I'm sorry. I said, nobody can intervene. Nobody can. We made it automatic. The system cuts you off from the exchange. First, your short-term access goes, but no exchange. Then, if you delay by further 30 days, 10% of your long-term access goes. Now, access going means that you are not only not able to buy power from a person you did not pay to, you cannot buy power from anybody else. If your long-term access is reduced by 10%, or even if your short-term access goes, you can't buy a short-term electricity from anyone. If your long-term access gets reduced by 10%, that's what happens. So everybody started paying. Today my current bills are up. Totally. Can you imagine? But that's the only sector, I believe, where all current bills are totally up. We had legacy dues of 1,35,000. Now we clarified that whatever you pay, we first have to go to build the legacy due. But we made a system of installment. So we said that the legacy dues have to be paid first. So if your convenience, we are making it in installment. We made installment. Reasonable installment. So first you pay the legacy dues installment, and then you pay the current dues. If you don't pay either or both, then your power gets cut off. It can't happen that you pay current and don't pay legacy. Because if you pay current and don't pay legacy, what happens is that the current payment goes against the legacy. So you are still off. You have to pay both. Now the legacy overdues have come down from 1,35,000 crores to 75,000 already in a matter of about 6-7 years. All my discoms are now buying everything. We said we revised the prudential norms. We said that number one, and we also made assistance from Government of India conditional. We said that we can't take loans from either PFC or REC, and I wrote to the Governor RBI, I spoke to him twice, and this has been introduced in all the banks. I said that how can any financial institution lend to any entity which is making loss, until unless it puts in place measures to reduce those loans. Otherwise, how will they repay? And those measures have to be underwritten by the state government. So that's what happens. You want to know? You work out a mechanism for reduction of losses, and then you get your state government's commitment to it, then you file it, and then we monitor it. Number one. Number two, you want assistance from our RDSS, whatever. Again, you have to give us a trajectory for loss reduction, and the government dues have to be paid up front in both cases.